Catalytic converters.
Catalytic converter theft.
Catalytic converter theft is an issue that has gotten out of hand the past few years, and this year it hasn't gotten any better.
2021, they estimated there were 65,398 thefts nationwide, a 353% increase from all reported thefts of catalytic converters in 2020.
Ridiculous. So what can you do to stop it?
Well, these products are specially designed to prevent your catalytic converter from being stolen. But some of them are going to run you a couple $100. Are these things worth the added protection, or can a determined thief get around them anyway? Today, we're gonna find out. I'm Zach, this is Justin. Welcome to Donut. Hey, are you looking to kill time before the new season of The Walking Dead? Then check out today's awesome sponsor, Monster Legends. Monster Legends is a free-to-play mobile game where you can collect over 1,000 monsters and build a monster empire. Breed them to create all new species, and feed them to strengthen them for battle against other monster masters. Compete to win rewards, conquer trophies, and reach the top leagues. Plus, to celebrate the return of The Walking Dead, Monster Legends is releasing 6 new monsters inspired by the iconic characters Rick, Daryl, Michonne, Negan, Carol, and Maggie. Check out the Rick monster right now with his invincible machete axe attack, and you can collect the others as they become available in the game. To start your own monster empire, download the game in the description below or scan the QR code on screen to get a special free starter pack with 100,000 gold, 20,000 food, 3 gems, and the monstrous Mothman. Just click the link.
All right, so what we have here is our director Henry's Suburban, who's had his whole vehicle stolen and then found it catless somewhere else in the city.
I was about $3,000 in the hole that week.
Which is why we're here to talk about protection methods to protect your cat, to protect your hard-earned money.
Last year, we made a video about why thieves take this precious piece off of your car. It's because inside of these catalytic converters, there are precious metals like rhodium, platinum, and palladium. Thieves can sell them at a junkyard or recycling center to make some quick cash.
Now, thieves have been known to steal a cat off someone's car in as little as 90 seconds. Justin and I have some jacks and a Sawzall, and we're gonna see if we've got the chops to do the chop. We're gonna establish a baseline. We'll see how long it takes us to get the car up and to saw out the cat on this car with no protection.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You're going under.
And that's how it happens.
Are we ready?
Ready.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, steal!
Now, when a thief does this, often they do it pretty unsafely. You've probably heard stories about cat thieves getting squished under cars. We really don't want that to happen, so we're gonna do it safely. Okay, drop it. Sawzall me. Oh, God. This is our first time.
Coast is clear, coast is clear.
Now, it's also worth remembering that thieves are targeting cars that they don't have to jack up to get under. Taller cars, such as SUVs, that they can just slide right under, and then it only takes them as long as it takes to cut the cat out. Get out.
We gotta take the jack stick.
Time.
Wow. Just like the bad guys, 1 minute and 28 seconds.
Woo!
That's 90 seconds, boys.
Wait, but that's a resonator.
Yeah, so the thing about the Sebring is that the catalytic converter's like up kind of under the hood and not in a great stealing location, but it's the only car that we had that we don't care about. So we're gonna pretend like this resonator is a catalytic converter for the rest of the day, okay? So we're gonna be grading this on speed, ease, cost, and stealthiness. That spells sex. All right, so speed. How quickly can a thief get past this thing? That's why we set a baseline. As we test these products, we'll see how much time they add to the cat removal process. Ease. How easy is it to install? Cost. How much does the thing cost? And stealthiness. How loud is the thief gonna have to be to remove this thing from your car? All right, Justin, what the heck's the first thing we got? What is this?
We have a alarm system here by
FastGuard.
FastGuard Alarms. This is $30 and it has this little alarm doohickey that you activate when you're done driving your car. And you have to make sure you turn it off with your little key fob.
That's the big issue for me is the key fob. I would never remember.
Yeah.
I'd lose that thing day one.
But what's the first thing people do when an alarm goes off?
Nothing.
Exactly, they ignore it. Let's see how long it takes before someone comes and checks out what all the noise is about.
I have a feeling nobody's gonna check on us.
No. The installation of this thing does not require it to be near the cat. It actually just needs to be somewhere on the exhaust to feel the vibration of someone trying to cut it off. So I say that's good enough. Let's activate this thing. There we go.
Okay, so now we're set.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. It stopped.
That was only 30 seconds.
Yeah,
so.
that's not even enough time to wake up. Oh, look, we got one. He waited until it cut off to come check.
I mean, it sounded like someone's 90s BMX bike was getting stolen.
And it only rang for 30 seconds. That's less time than it took to cut the cat off.
It's true. So the problem with this thing is that it's not super securely attached to the exhaust. So if you're a thief and you're under here and it starts doing that, it's not going to slow us down. See if you can get this thing off with a Sawzall. That you literally had one job, Fast Guard. Fail. All right, Justin, let's talk about sex. First off, speed. It only took me about 10 or 15 seconds to just cut it off the car. Took you 15 seconds to destroy it.
And no one likes a Minute Man.
On to ease of install.
Definitely easy to install.
It was easy, it was quick. How much did it cost?
$35.
So on to the C, it was $35. That's
$35.
pretty cheap.
Really cheap.
And Stealthiness, I mean, it was pretty loud, but I don't know if it's loud enough to really get anybody's attention. As a theft prevention product, I don't think it's that good. But we did get 3 AAA batteries out of the deal.
Sick.
Let's check out our next product, see if it does any better. Okay, up next we've got the cat clamp. This thing costs 200 bucks. Justin, how's this thing work?
This rope here feeds through those clamps and gives you like a flexible cage around your catalytic converter.
Yeah, cutting through this loose cable, especially with a Sawzall, is gonna be tricky. Let's install it. All right, so it doesn't look great.
What are you talking about?
I think, unfortunately, we gotta undo and redo. Okay, that should be a clamped cat.
Resonated.
Our clamps are tight, our cables are cinched down by the clamps. To get this thing out, you'd have to be able to cut inside of the clamps and then fish it out between the cables, which looks next to impossible. You could totally cut here and here, but then the cat itself is attached to the car.
By anchoring it multiple times to the chassis of the vehicle, you not only have to cut the pipe, but you have to cut every single one of these lines, which is very inconvenient for
that
someone
would
trying
suck.
to steal it. I guess we have to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
And go.
Try like closer to the holes or like where it's tight, you know? It's flapping so hard.
My blade's taking quite a beating.
Dude, I don't think that's the right tool for the job.
All right, give me the cutoff. Ah.
Yeah!
Oh my God, there's so many. Woo-hoo-hoo. Where else? Where else?
Like a couple more in the back. And yeah, keep an eye on that gas tank. Time!
So that was a total of 2 minutes.
Oh no.
2 minutes? And that's just an additional 2 minutes. We haven't even taken the cat off yet.
And that's on a lift and plenty of light.
Yeah.
So imagine doing this in the dark trying to be sneaky. That's
Yeah.
impossible. So how does this product hold up to sex?
Sex me up, Justin.
All right, so speed, absolute horrible. This took forever.
Yeah, doubled our time.
Definitely helps you in that way.
Yeah, slows down a thief, which is akin to stopping a thief.
Ease of install. We had a bit of trouble at first.
I have a bit of trouble at first with almost everything I do.
Exactly.
It took us really 30 minutes, so not too bad.
5 stars. On cost, this cost a lot.
But the clamps are pretty cool, and it does make for a pretty good kit. So it is 200 bucks, but it could save you upwards of 1,000.
And then as far as stealth, they're definitely not going to be sneaky cutting this off.
Yeah.
So I recommend this product. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it would stop a thief. So
For sure.
That's what we're here to test. Okay, well, where can we go from here? This seems like, you know, what I would expect to be kind of top tier. So let's take a look at that other thing we got. All right, so for our last product, we've got what's called a cat strap. It is a strap that you put on your cat and it prevents it from being stolen. But inside of this fiberglass strapping is some cable. And the idea is that it stops a Sawzall from basically working. It just is a little bit jiggly, so the Sawzall just moves with it and takes a thief longer to cut. So we'll install these things and see how much they deter us. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mask up now. I know you can't see it, but this is letting off all sorts of tiny little particles of fiberglass. They're all over me. All right, so this is kind of interesting. First off, bright orange, so thieves know to get the hell away. And then on the back side, it's got this black material. It says with heat, once this is installed, it'll bond to your exhaust, which is kind of funny because when you look at it, it's obvious that this is just duct tape. By bonding to your exhaust, it means it's just gonna melt to it when it gets hot. It even says in the instructions that a melting smell is normal during the bonding period, which is hilarious. But I mean, not wrong. It's gonna bond to your exhaust. So let's bond her up.
I don't know, it just kind of looks dumb.
Yeah, I hate this.
Let's try and cut this bad boy off.
And go.
Oh yeah, I forgot, I don't have to actually cut it out. We already got that time. You know what? I got a better idea. Better idea is not that much better. Okay, with that out of the way, then there we are. Cutting the cat.
That was an extra minute and 15 seconds.
Pretty easy to defeat. Didn't even have to switch out for the cutoff wheel. Managed to just sawzall right through them cables.
So how does it hold up to sex?
Well, let's talk about it, Justin. First off, speed. It didn't take me as long as the cat clamp, but it was an additional minute 15. So I'm gonna say not bad. That's a pass for me. In terms of ease, install was way easier than the cat clamp, but to its detriment, I think. Then we've got cost. The cat strap by itself was $200.
Pretty high.
It is pretty high, especially when you consider that the cat clamp was $200, and I would say inarguably did a better job. And then lastly, stealthiness. Tough to be stealthy cutting through much of anything, so I think it does pass in terms of making it unstealthy for a thief. All right, before we look at our last catalytic converter theft prevention device, I want to show you something. And that's our sick new Donut Media license plate frame. You can get yourself one at donutmedia.com, and you should, because they're sweet. And if you want to keep up to date on our merch stuff, then follow our merch account, our Donut Merch Fan on Instagram, at Donut Merch Fan. Go follow it. Get a plate frame. I love you. All right, now let's talk about one of the most effective ways to protect your cat. A plate of metal, basically. There's a company called Cat Shield that makes basically skid plates to go over your cat to protect them from thieves. They make them for a handful of cars, but if they don't make one for your car, you might have to DIY it, but that's okay. Sometimes that's the best way to do things.
On his new cats, our director Henry welded rebar to the catalytic converters and the frame. He also engraved his VIN number and the word stolen 50 times on each cat. So, I mean, yeah, someone's not gonna wanna deal with that.
And this has seemed to work. It's been about 8 months and no one's stolen the cats from me.
It's a rebar cage. It's definitely one of the safest ways to do it because something as simple as a sawzall or a cutoff wheel won't cut through rebar as easily.
So we're not gonna make a whole cat protector for the Sebring, but just to see how long it would take a thief to get through one, we're gonna cut a cat-sized hole just to make sure metal's still tough to cut through. Henry's gonna time it, and we'll see how long it takes.
Are you ready, Job?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Kenny?
Meow.
3, 2, 1.
Do I have to cut 4 sides?
We can stop. We can just double the amount of time that took.
Swell. Well, what do you know? That took forever and it was loud as hell. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to be exact, and I only got halfway there, so call it 7.5 minutes. I don't think any thief's gonna do that. So if you really wanna protect your cat, I think something like a shield is what the doctor ordered. That said, I mean, the cat clamp is my other favorite for a product you can buy off shelf.
A good steel skid plate, a rebar cage, or the cat clamp, surprisingly.
Yeah, the nice thing about the cat clamp is that it is pretty much reversible, right? If you do a shield like this, especially if you weld it in place, well, that's it. Then you gotta cut it out next time you need to get in there.
Then that's your problem later.
Yeah.
And if you're out there stealing cats, stop it! Stop it!
Please stop. Please. Stop. Stop.
But hopefully your catalytic converter is intact, and hopefully it'll stay that way with what you learned in this video. If you've gotten your catalytic converter stolen before, tell us the story in the comments, and let us know what else you want to see us test. Thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram at Zach Job. Follow Justin at Justin Freeman. Make sure you follow Donut at Donut Media. We'll see you guys later.
Y'all have a good one.